Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Let's start direct and indirect, or what we say direct and reported speech. يعني direct كلامي أنا المباشر نفسه. When I say he says I'll travel abroad next week, this is direct. So if I want to cross or to delete the two brackets, عايز أشيل الأقواس دي, how can I change? Number one, you start by the subject. Number two, you put the verb. He says. You can join the two sentences by the word that. ممكن أربطها بذات, ممكن لا, زي ما شايفاها في two brackets. معناها إن إيه, if you put it or you don't write it, it's okay. Now, you have to underline. I refers to the word he. So if I say he says that he will travel, I didn't change anything inside the brackets because the verb outside is in the present. So number one, when you have say or says in the present, you don't change the tense. But if you have say to, let's look at number two. They say to me. Okay, I speak to somebody. If I say to, I cross it or I delete it and I put instead the word tell. They say to me, we have just heard the good news. If they tell me, they have just heard, I don't change the tense because the verb outside is in the present. Number three, he says to me, I'm living, and you complete the sentence. If Rami says, Rami tells me that he is living in a furnished flat now. Number four, he says, I left. So the verb outside, present. The verb inside, past. So you put the verbs as they are. You say, he says he left his keys at home. In another meaning, بمعنى آخر, you don't change the verb if it is in the present. If the verb say is in the present, we don't change the verb inside. What we call this, we call a statement, يعني جملة خبرية or a sentence, okay? What about the statement number two? Here I have the verb outside is in the past. So you change when the verb outside is in the past. He said, I'll travel abroad next week. He said that he, and we stop. If it is will, you change it to would. If it is present, you change it to past, okay? And you complete the sentence and you have another change next week. I don't write it next week, I write it the following week. So what I change in the sentence, number one, I change the verb if it is present to the past. Number two, you change the word, the key word here, next or tomorrow or yesterday and so on. Next, I change it into following week. Number two, they said to me, we have just heard the good news. They told me that they had. So this is present perfect. We change it into past perfect. Let's move to number three. Rami said to me, I'm living in a furnished flat now. Rami told me that he was living in a furnished flat then. So again, the word next, the following week. The word now, we change it into then. Number four, he said, I left my keys at home. He said he had left or left his keys at home. So here I have two options. When I have past, I must change it into had left, or in some cases, في بعض حالات ساعات بسيب الباست زي ما هو. So this is the right answer, had left, but in some cases في بعض الحالات بلاقيها مكتوبة في الباست عشان ما تلخبط في التشوز. لكن لو في التشوز جالك الاثنين, which one is more correct? Had left. Okay? We stop here and we move to another thing. Let's complete the unit of grammar about direct and indirect. Second part, same tenses. I don't change the tense. If I have the word now, just now, a moment ago, or it speaks about fact, or wish, or if only, or if to. What we do with all these words, we don't change the tense. Like this example. He said just now, I'll visit the zoo tomorrow. He said just now, he will visit the zoo tomorrow. So as you notice, زي ما بنلاحظ كده, we didn't change the verb, it's the same. We didn't change the keyword, tomorrow or yesterday or whatever. We don't change them. We write them as they are. He said to me a moment ago, I have sold my car. He told me a moment ago that he has sold his car, and so on. Here is a table about changing words. If you have the word this, you change it into that. These, those. today, that day, tonight, that night, now, then, ago, before, here, there. The word tomorrow, it has got two changes. You can write the following day or the next day. Next week, the following week or the week after. Yesterday, the day before or the previous day. Last week, the week before, and so on. Let's have examples about this. He said, I have sold my car. I will buy a new one next week. As you see, we have got two sentences. It's not a problem. You write the answer the first, and you write the word and add it, and you complete the second. Let's look here. He said, it's the same. He said that he had, because this is present perfect, we then turn it into past perfect. He had sold his car. So we can join the second one. We say and, or and added. You can write just and, you can write these two words together. And you complete changing the tense in the second sentence. And added, or and only, that he would buy a new one the following week. Number 2. Hani said, I lost my pen. I found it, said Ali. Hani said that he had lost his pen, and Ali said that he had found it. Number 3. Samir said, I want to work with you, Nabil. Samir told Nabil that he wanted to work with him. Number 4. They said, the earth moves round the sun. So this sentence speaks about the fact. That's why we don't change the verb. They said that the earth moves round the sun. The last one, you should take a rest, the doctor said to me. The doctor advised. So sometimes I use other words like advised or promised or warned or threatened or whatever, and instead of told. The doctor advised me to take a rest. If it is in the negative, the doctor advised me not to do this. Thanks for listening.